So, welcome back, guys, to my YouTube channel, Kabala Volobanzi Chavati, for those who don't know. And as you can read from the title, today we will be checking out the number one movie on Netflix, Umjolo, the Gone Girl. So, without wasting any more time, let's just jump straight into the recap. So, we kick things off with our protagonist, Lethu, an event planner who's currently handling Umjolo for the Jabu family. Her friend and her assistant, Amanda, almost fumbles the bag, but Lethu steps in to save the day. With her flawless rescue, the Jama family is thrilled, and even though they are skeptical, they agree to let her plan their upcoming wedding, to which then we meet Ulaki, her boyfriend, who promises the family that she's up for the task, basically setting her up for the real test. Then we meet Lucky's brother, Utemba, who's got his own drama, cheating on his wife, Bridget. Lucky plays peacemaker and tells him that
Ungacheat.
Yes.
Ungacheat, boy. Ungacheat. Ungacheat, cash. Ungacheat.
which kinda hatches things between the troubled couple. Lucky and Lethu head home, they make love, all is well. But when they wake up, they find Amanda baking in their kitchen because she forgot to order a cake for a client's event. Lucky suggests ordering cupcakes instead, proving that sometimes the simplest solution is truly the best. And just when things are on track, Lucky proposes to Lethu, and they all set for a happily ever after. At their engagement party though, Timber's eye starts wandering again to one of the waitresses. Lethu tries to help keep his wandering eye in check, urging him to lock in on his marriage. Plot twist, Lucky's actually cheating on Lethu with Amanda, who's been sabotaging Lethu's business just to get his attention. And if that wasn't crazy enough, Lethu finds out that she's got chlamydia, sending her world into a tailspin. Lucky admits to cheating, but downplays it, calling it a one-time thing from a couple of years ago, to which Lethu replies,
You're born to tag you. You're born to tag you.
and later on the night, she breaks the most important rule of a relationship. Relationship 101 is to never go to your partner's phone. Because
the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
And find out she did. To cope, Amanda drags Lethu out for drinks, but the night takes a dark turn when Lethu overshares her chlamydia news with random people at the club. Lucky, meanwhile, claims that he wants to turn a new leaf, ayeke nje ukucheat. While Uthemba on the other side, uthi,
Yo, eput akunzima.
uyabona ukuthi idemoni lokuphothola nje limba bengamawashing uzodinga abazalwane nje ukuthi bamthandazele ukuze liphume le demon. And by this point, everyone's problems are piling up. The following day, Lethu and Lucky have an interesting convo where Lethu demands the God-honest truth as to why Lucky is doing this to her. To which he explains,
I got too many hoes, but they ain't you.
thus leaving Lethu utterly shocked at how brutally honest he was, cause uthi being with you and sleeping with you forever is just suffocating. Thus, this revelation pushes Lethu to go kagokwake and find herself.
A few moments later.
While Lethu is away kagokwake, Amanda uses this opportunity to get closer with Lucky, to which he pushes her away, telling her ukuthi he's on the mission of trying to win Lethu back. Lethu eventually suggests an open relationship with Lucky. After coming back from Ukokowake, Lucky agrees reluctantly as long as they respect each other's boundaries and they don't sleep with people that they both know. Utemba, on the other hand, becomes so clingy to Bridget that she ironically misses him when he was unfaithful and never at the house. With Lethu's world crushing down, she tries to take Amanda's advice and embrace the single life, focusing on herself and her work. To which we get a montage of her doing just that, while Lucky on the other side is becoming a young Balthazar Ngonga. If you know, you know. Which eventually leads down to him sleeping with Amanda again, basically disregarding their agreement on not sleeping with people that they both know. Later on that night, Lethu tries going on a date with someone new, but when the moment comes, she can't shake her misplaced loyalty to Ulike, even though he's clearly done her dirty 10 times over. So she heads back home where Ulike is waiting with a mix of jealousy and misplaced self-righteousness. As they begin to make love, she starts having panic flashbacks or the thought of him sleeping with other women, to which the film just cuts. So did they eventually make love or not? I am not quite so sure. Nonetheless, things come to a head at the Jama wedding. The bride starts having second thoughts, and Lethu, with all her love life wisdom, tells her to follow her heart, which is quite ironic coming from her anyway. As the bride walks down the aisle, she has a brief moment of self-introspection, questioning herself if Ulike is really worth all she's had endured thus far. She goes behind the scenes only to find Amanda and Lucky making love once again. This time is the last straw. She dumps him, fires Amanda and walks away, thus finally choosing herself over the chaos. One of the major things I would have liked to improve is how the men were written in this movie, because unlike and Otemba are the two pivotal figures that we follow throughout this entire movie, and all they do respectfully is sulk and cheat, which makes them kind of two-dimensional, almost like a personification of the toxic masculinity nowadays. And that's what this movie truly is. It's like a mirror towards today's society, but with a much exaggerated demeanor, because they're also the embodiment of like the red pill podcasts, the toxic male R&B scene, whatever you name it, it's all in our entertainment. So when we hear them speak, there's no character progression, there's no character arc. Ulaki from the beginning is still the same as Ulaki from the end, such as Utemba as well. They say with their mouths that they want to change, but there's no thorough action towards them actually changing. I mean, outside of their respective relationships, what do these men have going for themselves? Nothing. Ulaki drives a GTI, has a BMW, and lives in a loft. But where does he work at? Because it follows the classic Tyler Perry trope of having the ambitious woman who's stuck to the bum ass boyfriend who is basically good for nothing. And it kind of begs the question as to what makes him special for Ole to truly sacrifice it all, the torture, the torment, and allow herself to agree to being in an open relationship when she doesn't want to. I'm not saying that they have to attend therapy and whatnot, but at least give them a character development of some sort, instead of just being the same throughout. That point goes on to my point B as to improving plot A and plot B, because plot A that we follow is Ulaki and Olet, and plot B is basically Bridget and Otemb. When we're watching these stories interchangeably, it kind of feels as if we're watching two movies at the same time, because if you're to remove Utemba and Bridges from this movie, story A doesn't really get crippled too much, or it's mostly like a repeated subplot which doesn't really bring any significant change towards plot A, because Bridges and Utemba could have been such a perfect example. Maybe they are the couple that actually go to therapy and actually work on their issues. Hence, plot B kind of shows a different perspective, a flip of the coin, you'd say, as to what toxic relationships can be. Because at the end, both couples, they just stuck in a bad place, As much as I applaud Uletu for leaving, but Bridget is still stuck and still defending this very same man who breaks her heart, which kind of begs the question as to why. Another thing I would have liked to improve is how this film kind of downplays infidelity. I mean, Uletu finds out that she has chlamydia, and Udodela tells her, don't see, I'm gonna give prescriptions and whatnot. Cool. But then throughout the entire film, we never see her taking any of the medication. We don't really get the true ramifications of what it is upon her life or health. I mean, Uletu is such a smart and ambitious woman, so you'd think that you'd take the chlamydia seriously health-wise outside of Ulaki, obviously. That is such a missed opportunity in kind of educating people that, hey, if you find yourself in this situation, it's actually doable, and you're not alone in this. You can have like a support system and whatnot. Another thing I would change about this film is the golden rule of show, don't tell, because a lot of times in this film we are told how the characters feel and how they want to change and whatnot and who they are as people, but we are not clearly shown thoroughly who they are, which kind of downplays the actual character, because instead of telling us Uguti Lethu is ambitious or whatever the case may be, show us indeed through actions and whatnot. No shade to the narrator, he's doing a phenomenal job. I love his humor and whatnot. So out of love for him with the narration to tell us something that you don't already know, then kind of repeating the same sentiments that we already got it, because this film isn't really metaphorical, it's very upfront, it's very blatant, it's very much in your face. And then the last thing I'd like to improve is basically the sex scenes, in a sense that how explicit and upfront and how frequent they seem so to appear. You know, as an audience, we are smart enough to know when people are having sex. Like as a writer, you can always insinuate they've just had sex. You don't have to specifically show the actual penetration. Yeah, you know, they're actually having sex. Like we're smart, we don't have to be spoon fed. To which for some people it kind of draws them away, because at some point it kind of feels as if you're watching soft porn, you know, instead of just watching a film, if you know what I mean. Now, what I truly loved about this film is the production crew. Itegu has never looked so beautiful. Such a brilliant production crew in terms of the lighting, color grading, editing, cinematography, location scouting. Everything is just so you know. So go through some of it's like say, but it's a pretty city liner or as a guy wise like mashula, you know, because Nam was a Tegwini, so it's good to know Netflix is also investing in Durban culture instead of just Joburg culture, you know what I mean. I feel like when we watch these things, all as much as I'm a filmmaker and a crew member basically, I appreciate the behind the scenes of what it took, because we tend to applaud the actors and whatnot, but truly the MVPs are the production crew. And so my rating for Umjolo the Gone Girl, I'll give this film a 6 out of 10, because as much as the flaws are in your face, it can definitely be improved, because it has the potential to. I read somewhere that they are planning to make this a 4-part installment, so it can definitely improve with each and every installment. And who knows, maybe I could be part of the writing team or the creative team by God's grace, depending on who's watching this. And with all of that being said, it's your boy Ulubanza Klamati, and be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.